Words and affirmations are the building blocks of creation, holding the power to shape your reality and transform your life. Being a bridge, words connect your inner intentions with the external reality you desire to create. They carry energy and meaning, transforming thoughts and emotions into actionable vibrations that shape your experiences. By deliberately choosing words that affirm your goals and aspirations, you shift your focus from fear to possibility, crafting a mental blueprint for success. And affirmations are seeds of intention, fostering self-belief, nurturing resilience, and helping you embody the energy of what you desire to attract. As you engage with them consistently, affirmations bridge the gap between where you are and where you aspire to be, amplifying your ability to co-create a life of fulfillment and purpose. Through the transformative practice of building with affirmations, you step fully into your power, reclaiming your role as the creator of your reality. Today's affirmation.
I honor the richness of diverse perspectives, knowing that true harmony arises not from conformity, but from the freedom to think, believe, and live authentically. I choose to see the world as a vast and intricate tapestry, woven with countless threads of thought, belief, and experience. Each perspective, whether familiar or foreign, adds depth and color to the whole, expanding my understanding of what is possible. I no longer feel the need to convince others to see through my lens, nor do I seek validation through agreement. Instead, I embrace the beauty of contrast, knowing that differences do not threaten unity, they enrich it. By allowing myself and others the freedom to think independently, to believe deeply, and to live authentically, I step into a space of true connection, built not on forced alignment, but on genuine respect and understanding. Harmony is not found in making everyone the same, but in allowing each person to stand fully in their truth. I release the fear that diversity brings division and instead recognize that only resistance to it does. In honoring my own authenticity, I make space for others to do the same, knowing that our uniqueness does not separate us, it strengthens us. The world does not need more voices demanding sameness. It needs more hearts willing to listen, more minds open to possibility, and more souls courageous enough to be themselves. I am free, and I allow others to be free, trusting that in this openness, true peace and connection naturally unfold.
Poetic landscapes, inspiring stories, mindful insights, conscious creating. Whether you're seeking tips, tidbits, or techniques to elevate your life, become leading-edge creators or gain a deeper understanding of law of attraction, this space is dedicated to supporting your journey, where every thought is a seed and every feeling is a blossom, in the garden of endless possibilities. Stay tuned.
How would you know you're seeing clearly if you didn't see not clearly? How would you appreciate the clarity that you found if you hadn't lived in some sort of discord? How could you live other than living in alignment with Source? Source guides you to see your life through the eyes of love.
Welcome to Infinite Consciousness, a daily inspirational podcast that's dedicated to helping you manifest your dreams faster through law of attraction. Thank you for joining us. We're thrilled to have you here.
The growing demand for conformity in your world is at the root of much of the turmoil and suffering you experience. This insistence on sameness, on the idea that there is only one right way to live, one correct way to govern, and one true path to spirituality, creates friction, division, and ongoing conflict at every level of human interaction. It is this rigid adherence to singular perspectives that fuels the religious, political, and cultural battles that dominate your world. At the core of this struggle is the deeply ingrained belief that unity can only be achieved through uniformity. Nations, institutions, and individuals push for alignment, often mistaking conformity for harmony. Yet, in reality, this demand for sameness suppresses the natural expansion of thought, expression, and evolution, leading to frustration, resentment, and ultimately, conflict.
Thoughts in bloom. Is it the only thing that work? The world cries out in endless strain, bound by rules that forge its chain. A single path, a single way, demanding all must think and stay. Each voice proclaims, we hold the key, our truth alone shall set you free. Yet in this claim, the walls arise, built on fear and woven lies. Religion wars with fervent might, declaring, only we are right. And nations clash with rigid pride, to prove the way they stand is tried. Yet look beyond, where rivers bend, where mountains rise, where colors blend. No tree demands the sky be one, no star outshines the morning sun. The world was never meant to be a mold of forced conformity, but contrast vast, a boundless sea, where difference fuels discovery. So let the walls of fear dissolve, let hearts expand, let minds evolve. For peace won't bloom where sameness reigns, but where the soul no longer chains.
Prepare to be taken on a journey where anything is possible, and every turn brings you closer to a spark of curiosity, a twist of tale, or a choice that changes everything.
Meet Orin, a young man whose natural curiosity has always set him apart. While the world around him demands conformity, his mind constantly questions established truths, a habit that has earned him sighs from his mother, scolding from teachers, and unease among friends. His simple yet profound question echoes throughout the story. If we don't question, how do we know what is true? Through Orin's eyes, we witness how societies build elaborate systems of enforced sameness. Political structures claim to champion freedom while silencing dissent. Religious institutions preach love while demanding absolute adherence to singular interpretations. Social circles subtly pressure us to think, dress, and live within carefully crafted boundaries. Yet within Orin burns the unshakable feeling that there must be more to existence than these rigid frameworks. Everything changes when Orin encounters a mysterious elder on the outskirts of his city, a wise stranger wearing a patchwork robe that symbolizes the very diversity of thought Orin yearns for. Their conversation beneath a gnarled tree reveals a powerful truth. Wars are not born from differences, but from the refusal to accept them. The old man explains that sameness provides only the illusion of safety, while true peace comes not from forcing new beliefs onto others, but from living as an example that embraces difference. As Orin absorbs this wisdom, he discovers his purpose isn't to change others, but simply to demonstrate through his existence that unity can emerge not from forced agreement, but from honoring each person's journey toward authentic living. Have you ever considered that your own freedom might begin not with changing the world, but with the courage to question what you've never questioned before?
Orin had always felt different. Not in a way that made him stand out physically, but in the way he saw the world. While those around him clung to rigid beliefs, whether political, religious, or societal, Orin found himself questioning everything. He had learned from an early age that asking questions made people uncomfortable. His teachers scolded him when he asked why only one version of history was taught. His family dismissed him when he wondered if faith could be broader than a single book, a single doctrine. Even his friends grew uneasy when he pondered if there were other ways to govern beyond the system they had been taught was the only right one. Why do you always have to challenge everything? His mother would sigh, exhausted by his endless curiosity. Because if we don't question, how do we know what is true? Orin would reply. But the conversation always ended there, with his mother shaking her head, unwilling to engage further. As Orin grew older, he realized that the world was built on a deep insistence on sameness. His country claimed its form of government was the only way to ensure freedom, yet it silenced those who thought differently. Religions preached love and acceptance but demanded absolute obedience to a single version of truth. Even in social circles,
There was an expectation to conform, to dress alike, to think alike, to live within the carefully crafted lines drawn by generations before them. But Orin could not silence the feeling inside him that there had to be more. One evening, as he wandered the quiet outskirts of his city, he stumbled upon an old man sitting beneath a gnarled tree. The man's robe was patchworked with fabrics from different regions, and his face was weathered but kind. Orin hesitated, but something about the man's presence felt inviting. "You carry a heavy burden," the old man said, without looking up. Orin blinked. "How do you know?" "Because I once carried it too," the man replied, finally meeting Orin's gaze. "You see beyond what is given, beyond what is told. And that, my boy, is both a gift and a challenge." Orin sat down beside him. "I just don't understand why people are so afraid of differences. Why must there always be one truth, one way, one answer?" The old man smiled. "Because sameness gives the illusion of safety. People fear the unknown, so they build walls of certainty, believing that if everyone agrees, they are protected. But in doing so, they close themselves off from the richness of life." Orin thought about this for a moment. "But doesn't forcing sameness create more conflict?" "Exactly," the man nodded. "Wars are not born from differences, but from the refusal to accept them. When a nation insists its government is the only way, it breeds opposition. When a religion claims it alone holds the truth, it invites division. The battles of the world are not fought over ideas themselves, but over the fear of allowing multiple ideas to exist." Orin felt a surge of understanding, but also a pang of sadness. So what can be done? If the world is so determined to cling to sameness, how do we change it? The old man's eyes twinkled. Change does not come from forcing a new belief onto others. That would be the same mistake in a different disguise. True change comes from living as an example. Be the one who listens when others refuse. Be the one who embraces difference instead of resisting it. People are not as immovable as they seem. When they see freedom, true freedom, they begin to remember that they, too, were meant to be free. Orin sat in silence, letting the wisdom settle in. He realized then that his battle was not to convince others to see what he saw, but simply to be what he knew to be true. To walk his own path, to honor others' right to do the same, and to live in such a way that others might feel safe enough to question, to wonder, and to embrace the vastness of possibility. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Orin rose to his feet, a new sense of purpose filling him. He did not need to fight against the world's insistence on conformity. He only needed to show, by his own existence, that there was another way. A way where diversity was not feared but celebrated, where unity was not built through forced agreement, but through the simple, undeniable truth that every person was free to think, believe, and live authentically. And in that knowing, Orin finally felt at peace. This insistence on conformity causes grief because it suppresses natural diversity, leading to resistance, conflict, and division. When people and institutions demand that only one belief, one government, or one way of life is valid, they create opposition rather than unity. Religious wars arise because each faith claims exclusive truth, fueling disputes that extend into political and cultural arenas. Similarly, democracy is often positioned as the only viable system, dismissing other governance models and provoking friction. The struggle is not in the differences themselves, but in the refusal to accept them. Forcing sameness breeds resentment, while allowing diversity fosters true harmony.
And now, your tip for today.
The world's growing insistence on conformity is the root of much of its suffering. At the heart of religious conflicts, and by extension, nearly all global struggles, is the belief that there is only one right way to think, govern, and live. Wars and divisions arise not from diversity itself, but from the relentless effort to impose uniformity. Democracy asserts itself as the only legitimate form of governance, while every religion proclaims its exclusive path to truth. Yet, true harmony is not found in forcing alignment, but in embracing the richness of diverse perspectives. When the world learns to honor differences rather than resist them, conflict will no longer be necessary, and a deeper sense of peace and understanding will naturally emerge.
Love this tip of infinite consciousness? Desire more? Never miss an opportunity to deepen your understanding and alignment. It's a beacon for those seeking to illuminate their path and live a life resonating with deliberate leading-edge creators. Head over to your favorite podcast platform and subscribe. By tuning in, you can expect to find inspiration, support, and guidance on your journey to living a life that is authentically yours. Furthermore, it not only explores the poetic landscapes of growth and manifestation, but also provides tangible techniques to bloom your desires into reality. Embrace the wisdom and continue on the journey of crafting a crystal clear life. You are appreciated. Thank you.